रम 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 राम बोले,
राम 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 बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
राम बोले, राम बोले,
रम 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 राम बोले,
राम 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 बोले,
रामा रामा सुख रामा, रामा रामा दुख रामा,
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 रम 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 राम बोले,
राम 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 बोले,
रम 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 राम बोले,
राम 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 बोले,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रमा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रामा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रमा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रामा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रमा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, रामा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रमा रामा, हरे हरे,
हरे रामा, रामा रामा, हरे हरे,
शंकर शिवा, शंभु महादेव, शंकर शिवा,
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 नंदी वाहन शंकर शिवा,
नन्हे वाहन शंकर शिवा,
नंदी वाहन शंकर शिवा,
नन्हे वाहन शंकर शिवा,
बोलो शंकर शिवा,
बोलो शंकर शिवा,
बोलो शंकर शिवा,
बोलो शंकर शिवा,
नागा भोजन शंकर शिवा,
नारा भोजन शंकर शिवा,
नागा भोजन शंकर शिवा,
नारा भोजन शंकर शिवा,
ओ शंकर शिवा, शंभु महादेव, शंकर शिवा,
शंकर शिवा, शंभु महादेव, शंकर शिवा,
शंकर शिवा, शंभु महादेव, शंकर शिवा,
शंकर शिवा, शंभु महादेव,
Shivaya. Om Namah 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 Shivaya. Can the driver PDY 5587 please go to your vehicle. PDY 5587.
Sitaram, a warm and cordial welcome to each and every one of you tonight. First of all, welcome to yet another night of Gyan Yagna, hosted by the Bagwandas family. Thank you to you all for your warm hospitality, and I think everyone here can know that they are comfortable here. Thank you, Pandit. Welcome to our Brahmin Devatas. Thank you everyone for coming. Before I finish this introduction, I just want to carry out a little exercise. Whenever we chant Jai, we must chant with love, bhakti and devotion. So I don't want to hear people going Jai or Jai. So let's carry out a quick exercise. Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki. That was okay, you know. But I want quite a polar spin to hear Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki. Jai Jai Sitaram.
Shankar Shiva, Shankar Shiva, Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Shankar Shiva, Shankar Shiva, Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Nanni Vahan Shankar Shiva.
Nanni Vahan Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shankar Shiva.
Naga Bhojan Shankar Shiva.
Nara Bhojan Shankar Shiva.
Oh Shankar Shiva, Shankar Shiva, Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Shankar Shiva, Shankar Shiva, Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Bolo Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
Shambhu Mahadeva, Shankar Shiva.
उमापति महादेव की जय। आठ शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। खड़ा हो जाए, आरती लीजिए। Let us all please stand as we join in the opening आरती। शुभम करोतु कल्याणम आरोग्यम सुखसंपदम मम शत्रु विनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते। सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ते मुक्ते प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। ओ बोलो सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल।
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल।
ले तेरे बीच चराया, ले तेरे बीच चराया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
जुआ चोर तेरी अंग विराजे,
सुआ चोर तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुआ चोर तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुआ चोर तेरे अंग विराजे।
केसर तिलक लगाया, केसर तिलक लगाया, बोलो
सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे,
ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे,
ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे,
ब्रह्मा वेद परे तेरे द्वारे।
शंकर ध्यान लगाया, माँ शंकर ध्यान लगाया, बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
सत्युग त्रेता द्वापर मध्ये,
सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर माधे,
सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मध्ये,
सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर माधे।
कलयुग राज सवाया, कलयुग राज सवाया, बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया, बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
दानु भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे,
भानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे,
धन्य भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे,
धन्या भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे।
मन वांछित फल पाया, मन वांछित फल पाया, बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी,
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी,
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी,
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी,
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति,
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति।
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति,
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो
देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति, जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति।
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा,
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 अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
जगदम्बा माता की जय। सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया माँ, तेरा पारन पाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
मोहन भोग लगाया माँ, मोहन भोग लगाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
माँ तेरा पारन पाया,
माँ तेरा पारन पाया,
देवी तेरा पारन पाया,
देवी तेरा पारन पाया,
देवी तेरा पारन पाया। जगदम्बा माता की जय। आसन पर बैठे, let us all please be seated. My adorations, my prostrations at the lotus-like feet of our Brahma devatas. I pay special tribute to the beloved wife of Pandit Satnarayan and his two beautiful children who have accompanied him this evening. Matri Devo Bhava, Pita Devo Bhava. I pay obeisance at the lotus-like feet of our mothers and our fathers who are here with us. We welcome all of those who are listening to us and all of those who are viewing us via our radio and TV broadcast this evening. To all kind and no corporate sponsors, we express sentiments of gratitude and expressions of thanks. And this evening, once more, on behalf of the Bhagwandas family, we say welcome. As we prepare our minds and our souls to listen to the beautiful Katha, Heart Jod Binti Karo, let us bow our heads in prayer. As we chant mantras of invocation, we pray. Hari सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते।
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते।
शुक्लां वरदं देवा शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजा प्रसन्नवरणं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। Together. वक्रतुण्डा महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते।
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्य वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। जयंती काली मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा दात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्य। I can't hear you. त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव मृत्योर्मुक्ष्य। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
सर्वरे सर्ववरदे सर्वदुष्टभयङ्करी सर्वदुःखहरे देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। ॐ श्रीलक्ष्मी दिव्ये नमः। सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ते मुक्ते प्रदायिनी मंत्रमूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। आद्यन्तरहिते देवी आदिशक्ति महेश्वरी योग योग शंभो देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते।
Using the dust of lotus-like feet of Guru, I cleanse the mirror of my ignorant mind. Agyanam timirandasya jnananjang shalakaya chakshuram militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namah। Shri Guru charan saroje raja
निज मन मुकुर सुरा
varno raghuvar vimadayasha
जोधायक फलता
बोधहीन तनु जानिके
सुमिरो पवन कुमार
बलभूत विद्या देहु मोहि
हरहु कलेश विकार
नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान चुरावे मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जोड़ावे। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाय। जो शत बार पाटे करो होय, जूट ही वंदे महासुख होय। सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसा प्रचोदयात्। Harvations unto thee, O Goddess Mother Saraswati. May you sharpen our intellect, we beg of you. Listen to our prayer. जग की रखवाली करनी वाली जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
जग की रखवाले करने वाले जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
ला 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 ला
ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला
ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला तेरी दया से जीते हैं मैया, तेरे भरोसे चलती है नैया।
तेरी दया से जीते हैं मैया, तेरे भरोसे चलती है नैया।
घर घर है सुख की है दीवाने जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
जग की रखवाले करने वाले जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
ला 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 ला। दुखियों के घर में सुख बरसाने, अंधियार घर में दिया जला रे।
दुखियों के घर में सुख बरसा दे, अंधियारे घर में दिया जला दे।
सबको मितारे राखी काली जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
जग की रखवाले करने वाले जगदम्बे मैया, महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
चरणों में बेटे आस लगाई, विनती हमारी कानी न जाए।
चरणों में बैठे आशा लगाए, विनती हमारी काली न जाए।
ले लो हे आरती की डाली, जगदम्बे मैया महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली। ओ जगदम्बे मैया,
जग की रखवाले करने वाले, जगदम्बे मैया महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली। ओ जगदम्बे मैया।
ला 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 ले ला 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 ला
ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला ला
ला ला ला ला ला ला ले ला 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 ला। जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ। जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ। जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
When you clap, you expel your power, your sins. When you clap, you awaken the energy within you. When you clap away your sickness, you clap away your troubles, you clap away your problems. When you clap, your elbow is supposed to hunch the person next to you to wake them up, just in case they're asleep. When you clap, just by you giving off your power, if the person next to you is not clapping, they act like a dry sponge, will absorb water, they're taking all your sins. So clap. And if the person next to you is not clapping, then watch them and smile. You know why? You know why? Give them some Persad. The Persad of pap, sin to take home. Clap and sing with me. Whenever kirtan is happening, kirtan is one of the greatest forms of worship. And so kirtan awakens the consciousness within us. When we sing and when we clap and when we eulogize, it helps us to become energized. When we eulogize, it helps us to become energized. So sing with me, clap, and let us make a joyful noise unto the Mother Goddess. Everybody together. Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma.
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ। जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ। जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बे भवानी माँ।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा,
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
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 Amba, Amba, Jai Jagadamba. Jagadamba Mata Ki, Jagadamba Mata Ki, Jagadamba Mata Ki. Amba, Amba, Jai Jagadamba. 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 Jagadamba Mata Ki Jai. Our katha takes us into a very unique space or place this evening. It takes us into the look of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, he is the god of creation. Because of many actions that Lord Brahma has performed, and because of many things that he has done, he has caused trouble for his own self. He has created problems for his own self. And though he knows what is right, and though he knows what is wrong, he has still chosen to do the wrong things over the right things. Though he knows that the truth will set you free, there are many times he chose to lie and to not tell the truth. And so this caused him to land himself in trouble, in problems. Taking us into the realm of Lord Brahma. What will happen? Lord Brahma is seated next to his wife. When you go to a function, husband and wife, does husband always sit next to wife? Does husband sit next to wife? Who is in charge, husband or wife? Last night we had a wedding, eh? Who is in charge? Maybe I should ask the newlywed. The wife, eh? Even the husband pointing you before you said that. Happy wife, happy life. I said today I want you to get a kerchief. I want you to get a pin. And I want you to get a coin and paint it in black. And he looked at me, he said, what am I going to do with that? I said, well, today is the day you have to give that as a gift to your wife. And he said, why? I said, well, sometime after the wedding, she'll look at you and say, you never buy a handkerchief for me. You never give me a pin. And you never give me one black cent. So to do damage control, today, very early in the marriage, you must give these tokens so that she can't use that against you. Lord Brahma is seated next to his consort. And the consort of Lord Brahma, the wife of Lord Brahma, is Mata Saraswati. Jai Jai Vani Saraswati, Jai Jai Vani Saraswati, Jai Jai Vani Saraswati, Jai Jai Vani Saraswati. Om Im Saraswati Namah. Om Sri Vishnave Namah. Bhagwan Brahma और माता सरस्वती का शरणागत होते करने वाले, देखो और बहुत का शान करने वाले, जिसमें का बेटे बिनती करो कृपा है। जय जय वाणी सरस्वती, जय जय वाणी सरस्वती। Sitting next to her, both of them, they're experiencing this thing that is called Chanting. Have you ever heard of Chanting before? What does Chanting mean? Husband, is it possible to experience Chanting when you're sitting next to your wife? Wife, is it possible to be at peace when you're sitting next to your husband? Hello? Both of them experiencing peace, Shanti. Mother Saraswati and Lord Brahma, occasionally they will turn to each other and they will smile. Occasionally they will turn to each other and they will smile. When is the last time you smiled with your wife? Not somebody else's wife, huh? Your own. One of the nights I said, love your children, love your parents. And the president of the foundation came to me and she said, you forgot something important. And I said, what? She said, you forget to tell them, love your own husband and your own wife. Not somebody else's own. Love your own. Don't look at anybody else's own. I want to tell you with conviction from my heart, not everything that glitters is. Not everything that glitters is. His hair is black because the wife died, you know. You live with him and you will die instead. You don't know. You never know. The man wears the pants, but the wife chose which one he'll wear. Isn't it? It says, occasionally they will look at each other and they will smile with each other. And so they were enjoying each other's company. Husband, if you are sitting next to your wife, look at her and smile. And if you could see her from a distance, smile with her. You know their crocodile tears. It have crocodile smile too? What's a fake smile? You know, because I said what I'm saying, Auntie Angie changed her chair, you know. She didn't want Auntie Pam to sit down by her husband. She went by her husband. She moved Auntie Pam. See? It is the intention. It is what Yagna is supposed to do, awaken you. It is supposed to bring some kind of consciousness in you. It is supposed to awaken, make you aware. Aware of not only the things material and physical, but the things that are spiritual and divine that we have forgotten about. And so occasionally looking at each other, what will happen? Lord Brahma looked at Mother Saraswati, and after spending a very long time in each other's company, Lord Brahma spoke. And what will he say? Listen, he tells us. Brahmani Mata Saraswati ka पूछने करने वाली देखो रिया का मृत्यु लोक कहा देने का रहते का हो के उन्होंने का पृथ्वी पर का मान का परेंगे प्रार्थना किया है मुझको का आशीर्वाद दीन करते श्री परमात्मने नमः दुर्गा भवानी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
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 Lord Brahma spoke. He got up and he says to the Devi Saraswati, he says, I'm about to leave. I'm about to go. And Mother Saraswati becomes very inquisitive. And so she inquires, where are you going? And Lord Brahma, he doesn't answer. And when he turns to Mother Saraswati and he looks at her, it is as though her features have changed. And it is as though he's seeing Mother Durga with all the weapons. Husband, you ever see your wife mad, angry, vexed? When she gets mad, when she gets angry, does she look like Mother Durga or some other Devi? Which other Devi she looks like? Dave? You're on camera, be careful. Which other Devi she looks like? Bonnie is screaming, I'm hearing him, Kali. Diane? Diane, where's your husband? Oh. And so, when he looks at her, he could see the features of Mother Durga, knowing that she's getting upset, knowing that she's getting angry. Husband, are you able to tell when your wife is angry? How you'll be able to know? How will you know? And so, seeing as though the features have changed, Lord Brahma immediately answers, because you know, Lord Brahma is accustomed to getting in trouble now. He's accustomed to getting in trouble and being disciplined, and so immediately he answers, because he has learned from his mistakes. There are many people who have not learned from their mistakes. And actually, we are not only supposed to learn from our mistakes, we are supposed to learn from the mistakes of those around us too. We're supposed to grow and educate ourselves based on what we see around, making preparation so that the downfall of others will not be our downfall. The mistake of others will not be our mistake. And And so immediately answers and he says, I'm going to Prithvi, the earth. And I'm going down on the earth because there is a divine being who has been praying to me. And so he has been chanting and he is the only being praying to me. And so I must go to bless him. I must go to give him an ashavad, a blessing, a divine blessing. And so permit me, O Devi, permit me to go. And so Mother Saraswati says, okay, can I accompany you? And he says, no, this is a task for me. This is not a task for you. You remain here and allow me to go. Have you ever inquired where your husband is going? And he tells you that he's going someplace and you say, well, I want to go too. And then he starts to make excuses. Huh? Well, you shouldn't go, you know, because I'll stay long. And you say, well, don't worry, I can stay too. And he says, well, you'll be bored. And you say, well, no, I'll take my phone and I'll take the tablet. He said, tablet, you're sick? And you say, no, not that kind of tablet, the iPad now. And I'll do a hotspot from a phone to the lady's smart, you know. You try to outsmart them, they're one step ahead of you. They know everything, you know. They know about everything. And so, Lord Brahma says, no, you remain here. And so I will go. And so Lord Brahma, what will he do? Listen, it tells us. Durega Bhavani Ma Jai Jai Ambe Ma Durega Bhavani Ma Jai Jai Ambe Ma
Durga Bhavani Ma Jai Jai Ambe Ma
Sri Paramatmani Nama Em Him Krim Chamdai Viche Nama जिसमें का ब्रह्मा उसके का समय देखो और प्रकट होते करने वाले उन्होंने का डेल्टा का तीर करने वाले देखो और स्वर्गालोक का जिसमें का रहते हैं जिसमें का रहते होते हैं दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
कालिका पालिनी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
कालिका पालिनी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
जगदोधारिणी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
परम शिवायिनी माँ जय जय शक्ति माँ
परम शिवायिनी माँ जय जय शक्ति माँ
परम शिवायिनी माँ जय जय देवी माँ
परम शिवायिनी माँ जय जय देवी माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ
Lord Brahma left the heavens and so he came down on the earth. And so he stood in front of this bhakta, this das, this servant who was praying to him. And so Lord Brahma looked at the das, this servant, and immediately this being could recognize Lord Brahma. If Bhagwan, if God decides to come and stand in front of you, would you be able to recognize him? Hello? Would you be able to recognize him? If you want to choose a form of Bhagwan to come in front of you, Cindy, which form you'll choose? Mother Durga? Oh, but Mother Durga sits on a lion. When you see this huge lion in front of you, what you'll do? Oh, you're changing now, eh? You're changing your trend of thought. Will you choose Lord Shiva? But then he has a huge snake around his neck. Huh? The old people used to say, don't kill the snake when it... That's Lord Shiva, isn't it? Have you ever heard that before? Leave the snake. The snake harmless. That's Lord Shiva. Huh? But that's the snake that is cruel. Eh? What about the snake that have 2 foot and a big mouth? That's Lord Shiva too. If you could leave the snake that crawls to go free and set it free, and you know for a fact that that snake could cause death, and you forgive that snake and allow it to go, then why can't you forgive the one that had 2 foot and a big mouth? Huh? Why can't you? What's the difference? What's the difference? Hello? You're afraid to answer? What's the difference? Actually, let me get in trouble alone now. You don't answer. Lord Brahma, he stood in front of this being, and immediately this being recognized him. You and I, when we pray, we will hope and we will expect that Bhagwan will come through the forms and through the medium of the forms that we know. But this isn't always so. Because Scripture has taught us that when he can't come, when the Devi herself can't come, she's going to send some being. And so they may come looking different, in a different form, like a human being. But it might be Bhagwan, it might be God. Last night, when everybody left, one of the fine ladies of the group recognized that she lost her chain. Everybody is hunting and searching everywhere for the chain. And then we go out in the road and the chain is in the middle of the road. The cars have rolled over the chain countless times. Found back the chain, but there is a little gem that was on the end, and the gem is missing. And everybody pull out their torchlight and their phone, and everybody in the middle of the road, 12 o'clock in the night. 12 o'clock in the night. And in a distance I saw a man. And I saw the man there, and in my mind I'm thinking, I said, this man will say them doing some kind of juju in the middle of the road, 12 o'clock in the night. So I started to sing and I started to clap, and then Ashish, who did the welcoming, Ashish started to dance and in the middle of the road, 12 o'clock. And then after everybody dismissed themselves and went in their cars, the man came up. The man said, hello, I could get some food. And we look at him and we say, well, okay, we'll get the food for you. He said, I would have come earlier, but to see all they're doing all the ritual in the road. And I didn't want to disturb the ritual. So I waited until, you were done and everybody is going. And now can I have some food? And in my mind, I'm thinking, he has to be a strong, open-minded person to still come after that ritual to say, can I have some food? Do you know there are people who attend the function? They see what is happening. They can appreciate. They belonged once to the very same religion. And then when the Panchamrit pass, they twist up their mouth. When the Persad pass, they say. When the Chanting pass, they say. You swear they're catching fits. When they put the perfume, you say. Like they're in shock. When the curry pass, they say. The chana pass, they say. 2 spoons. Huh? We behave very confused, conveniently. Conveniently. Very conveniently. We behave confused. Do you know that man could have been God? Do you know at that time of the night, the Ramayana says that Lord Hanuman comes wherever Katha is happening. Sits in the back, can't identify him. He wears the oldest clothes. He appears to be the most undressed person. The person nobody wants to sit next to. The person nobody wants to talk to. The person nobody wants to serve. The person nobody wants to have anything to do with. But he comes there not for Mohan Bhog. He comes there for Prasadam. Prasadam that will nourish his Atma, his soul, his existence. That's what he's going for. He walks in quietly and sits, and he leaves quietly. Nobody notices him when he comes, and nobody knows when he leaves. Nobody knows. In the Bhagavad, a few weeks ago, sitting right in the front row, I'm singing the Bhagavad Arti, and there is a drunk man, the man drunk, he could hardly move, and he looking at me and he say, I am Krishna. I am Krishna. Come and do my Arti. He's telling me, he say, hey you, boy, come and do my Arti. He said, bring the Persad from me. I is Krishna. I am Krishna. And from up here, he sent some Persad for him. And he looked at me and he smiled. The ordinary mind will criticize and the ordinary mind will condemn. And you'll watch the drunk man and say, well, where he come here for, boy? But you know much people dress up nice and they themselves don't even know why they come. Where I come here for, boy? They have no clue. They make an appearance. Have no clue what happened. Have no clue what was said. Didn't learn a single thing. Came empty and left emptier. When we come here, we should come empty. But when we leave here, we should leave full. Filled with bhakti and devotion. Filled with energy. Filled with fortitude. Filled recognizing that I came here to learn how to express gratitude to my Creator, my Paramatma, my God whom I love, whom I've never seen but I know exists, whom I worship through the medium of the multitude manifestations. Lord Brahma stands there, and as Lord Brahma stands, this being begins to speak to Lord Brahma, and very softly in a quiet tone he sings, जिसमें पहले का ब्रह्मा देवता देखो दर्शन लीजिए जिसमें का मनुष्य रूपे करने वाले देवता का तुरंत करने देखो बंडू का स्वर्गा तथा करने जिसमें का राखी कया होते रक्षा रक्षा तू भगवन देखते का देखो स्वर्गा लोक का मृत्यु लोक देने वाले श्री परमात्मने नमः दूरे भवानी मां जय जय अम्बे मां दुर्गा भवानी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
दुर्गा भवानी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
परम शिवानी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
परम शिवायिनी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
जगदोदारिणी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
जगदोधारिणी मां जय जय अम्बे मां
जगदोदारिणी मां जय जय शारदा मां
जगदोधारिणी मां जय जय शारदा मां
Mother Saraswati is observing from the heavens and she's looking down at what is happening. And so as this being spoke in a very soft, loving tone. Do you know some people buff you up soft and loving too? You ever get a nice buff up before? Hello? Have you ever received a nice buff up before? You ever buff up somebody and nobody could figure out what is happening? Do you know how much times today, while I'm growing up, my mother is buffing me and nobody knows what is happening? Huh? Because she smiles for everything, huh? And I'm next to her and she's smiling and she says, I'll ring out your ears. Behave yourself. Sit down and don't move. And she's smiling. And I'm insisting that I must do what I want to do. And she's saying to me, I don't talk to you, you know. Don't make me have to deal with you in front of all these people. And she's smiling. And everybody must be saying, look at her very nice, well-behaved child. And look at this good mother. She's smiling through everything, huh? She's smiling. And the child is well-trained. And then you make a little thing and you make a slip and she hold you by your head. She say, Tasha Satish, I'll deal with you better when we go home. Sit down. Don't move. Mother ever did that to you? Huh? Mother ever did that to you? Mother Saraswati is observing from the heavens what is happening. And observing from the heavens, Mother Saraswati, she knows she might have to intervene. Because she doesn't know what Lord Brahma will do. And as this being stands in front of Lord Brahma, he says, Lord Brahma, bless me. I want an Ashavad. The Ashavad that I want is I want you to bless me that I can go and I can live in the heavens and I can be like a Devata. I could experience heaven. I want to live in the heavens like a Devata. Do you live home like a god? Are you like a god at home? Hello? Do you live like a god at home? Your neighbors like you? Huh? Your neighbors like you? You mean the people whom say, oh God, when you home? Huh? From the time the Baba enters into your home, you know what you do? You wash his foot. You do his puja. You put him mala. Because your Baba is like God, Bhagwan. Long ago, because you revered him with so much of love and so much of respect, you'll take some of that water that you wash his foot and you'll drink it. Huh? You'll put some on your head. You'll rub some on your hand and rub it on your body. Isn't it? In 2022, you scorn the Baba foot. You look at the Baba and you say, me and drinking that. In the Ramayana, every time the Guru entered the kingdom of Raja Dasaratha will come off his throne, put the Guru to sit on the throne, wash the feet of the Guru, and give the water to the servants and allow them to sprinkle it through the entire kingdom. Everywhere, they will sprinkle this Amrit. You know why? Because when the holy people walk through the home, they are accompanied by the Devatas and the Devis, and your entire home becomes blessed. The old people used to tell the Baba, before he leave, you had to walk through the house. Especially the puja room. Go, make sure and walk in the puja room. Sometimes the Baba come and sit down by the Vedi and you have to wait 2 hours for you to come because you come in here. Had afraid to light up the Havan because your head will go vroom. Your head will catch a fire with the hairspray. Sometimes the Baba leave and you even know because you study in Karhi and you study in Persad and you study in all kind of things. But didn't even know, and he say, you know, the man gone, and he even tell me. He says, I want to live in the heavens like a Devata. I want to experience what the heavens is like. And so Mother Saraswati immediately intervened. And you know what she did? Though she was told not to come, she sat on the tongue of Lord Brahma. And she started to talk through him. You know much times your brothers speak and your sisters speak and your children speak and you could hear your mother. You could hear your father. You could hear your grandfather saying that very same thing. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced that before? You could hear them saying the very same thing. It's as though they are saying it through the children. And so, Mother Saraswati, immediately tangling the tongue of Lord Brahma, she is saying, ask for anything else, but don't ask for that. We can't give you that. Ask for anything else. He can't figure out what is happening, you know. Because Lord Brahma is standing and he says, we can't give. We can't give. Because it is not Lord Brahma speaking, it is Mother Saraswati speaking. We can't give. And he didn't figure that out. And so he pondered, and pondering, what will he ask for? He continues, thinks about something else, and listen. Unhone ka karp dene karne, jisme ka ashwad mangate ka, vicha ka karne wali dekta karne, jisme ka ashwad kine, dekor brahma ki raksha hote, Om Shri Paramatmani Namah, Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma. with me.
Durga Bhavani Maa, Jai Jai Ambe Maa.
Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma.
Durga Bhavani Maa, Jai Jai Ambe Maa.
Param Shivani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma.
Param Shivayani Maa, Jai Jai Ambe Maa.
Param Shivani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma.
Param Shivayani Maa, Jai Jai Ambe Maa.
Param Shivani Ma, Jai Jai Devi Ma.
Param Shivayani Maa, Jai Jai Devi Maa.
Look at how intelligent he is. He says, well, you can't bless me to go and live in the heavens and to experience what it is like to be a devata. Then bless me that I can live for many kalps, many ages. And so, in the different kalps, promise me that you will protect me. And so, I will live through all of these kalps. And bless me with the varadan that I will not die by the hand of any devata, or the sons or the offspringings of any devata, or any being on the earth. Bless me with this varadan. Give me this ashava. When you are about to die, what do you see? What will you see? Actually, let me change that question. When death comes and stands before you, what would you wish to see at that time? Huh? What will you want to see, Ashish? What do you want to see? There's some people on their dying bed and about to go. They say, bring the bank book, I want to see. Bring the bera, I want to hold it one more time. Hmm? They hide it so safe that they can't even find it. Huh? Bring the grandchildren, I want to see one more time. Tell he, she and them to come, the whole family. I want to dead because I want to see them first before I dead. And you really have to dead after you see them, because you don't see them in your whole life. So the shock of everybody coming together might really kill you. Then the person died and the eye opened a little bit. And one person couldn't reach in time and they say, the eye they opened because you didn't reach. Go in the funeral home because the eye go come open when they come home. They want to see you. Want to see anybody when you die? The only thing you want to see, or the only thing you'll wish to see, is Bhagwan, God. But if you live your whole life not thinking of God, and you live your whole life not making peace with God, then what will happen? What will happen? How will God come at that time? How will you be able to think of God? I taught the members of the group in the Bhagavad. I said a new chant that you must sing every single night before you go to sleep. Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo. Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo.
Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo. Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo.
Govinda 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 bolo.
Govinda 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 bolo.
Govinda 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 bolo. Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo.
Manne tumme Govinda Govinda bolo.
Manatu, O mind of mine, O mind of mine, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda bolo. Sing Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. O mind of mine, be at the feet of Govinda. O mind of mine, have Govinda on the tip of your tongue. O mind of mine, be aware and conscious of Govinda. For the time when that comes and I think of Govinda, my soul will get mukti, salvation. My soul will gain salvation just by thinking of Govinda. He says, I don't want to die by the hand of any devata, nor the offsprings of any devata or any man on the earth. That's why long ago they used to name the children Ganesh and Ram, and Shiva and Mahadev. And you named the daughter Lakshmi, and you named her Devi, and you named her something auspicious, something holy, Mala, Rudra, and you named them something that will remind you of Bhagwan, of God. So that if perchance when you're about to die, they stand by your bed and you call their name, indirectly you're calling the name of, so that your soul will get mukti, salvation. But now you name them Brittany, and you have a little space, so you put spare space now. So you name her Brittany Spare Maraj. Brad, and it have a little space, so you put Lee, Bradley. Huh? And we name our children all sorts of things because we don't want to name them Vedanand. And we don't want to name them Vivek. And we don't want to name them Ashani. We want to name them modern names. We're living in a modern time, and your modern go to hell. Because when you call those names bear no kind of spiritual value. And so you're calling those names and meaningless. The name has a great impact on the aura and the energy of the beings. But then you see the daughter named Lakshmi, and the day after Diwali, she in KFC, in front of the line. Lakshmi. And she name is Sharda, And she sit down in the bar stool and spinning right around. He named Shiva, He know to cook curry on the chulha by the beach. Not curry on the chulha in the puja, Because he named Shiva but never went to puja in his whole life. We go to the funeral, and I'm standing, and where I'm standing, it is difficult for me to go to hand everything. So I'm standing by the microphone because there is a huge crowd, and I say to the Swami, I say, Swami, I will chant the mantra. By now you know exactly what to do. You hand them the appropriate things and guide them into doing it. We offer the water, we put the chandan, we put the perfume. I say, time for the mala. Tood gai he mala. I singing. And I turn away for 1 minute, and when I turn back, all the Ajman, the 5 boys, put on the mala for themselves. And the dead man in the box say, well, I done that. I never get one when I live in Wagadu. I put down the microphone and I start to laugh because I don't know what else to do. And in my mind, I'm saying, have you never gone to a funeral before? But then when you hear funeral, you're so glad the man dead. You ain't going because the man dead. You're going because you have a cooler in the trunk. That's why you're going. You're going because you get an opportunity to get bereavement, leave from work. You never talk to them when they're living, but that's your family when they're dead. The people in the funeral home say to me, they don't know if I have any more uncle. Because I call and I say, my uncle dead, can you help me? My aunt died, could you help me? Because there's some good shale, and that's the relationship I have. I live like family. I say, can you help me? They say, Pandit, half of Trinidad is your uncle and your aunt. I say, you just help me now. When you help me, you're helping them, and when you help them, we're helping God. Through them. Help me. There are days when I will call the people in the group and say, here what? You have to help me. I'm doing a chichi. We have to do a funeral for people who can't afford. I want you to give me this. I want you to give me that. I want you to... I call. I say, I know you saw a nice sari. I want it. What are you going to do? Put it on for Murti? No, we're going to put it on for somebody who died. A dead lady who give my sari? Give it. Give it. There is a need. There is a genuine need. Give it. Give it freely. You will get back 100. You give it. When the time comes to give and to do, give and do. He doesn't want to die by the hand of a devata. And if a devata destroys him, he'll get mukti, salvation. But he doesn't want to die at the hand of a devata. That's how confused he is. So hungry for existence. And so what will happen? Standing like this, after being blessed with the Ashavad, with Lord Brahma promising that he will bless him and protect him until he dies. It says he started to create havoc. He started to create distress. It's Christmas and you want to buy a gift for the child. So you buy one of those Bluetooth box. Huh? And you think you'll hear Jai Jagadish Hare. Huh? And then all you hear is brock and whine out and grind out and you know that kind of music? And you're not hearing, you're not hearing anything that you know about. Nothing of your that came from your era, nothing that you could relate to. Savannah grass and what's the other one? The one with the shank, the shell. Was it? Look, the little child know, you see? See the little child know? The little child know. Conch shell. You hearing? And you tell the children, sing na Jai Jagadish Hare. Me know that na? Pago Hamid. How Hamid. And the box that you buy as the gift becomes a nuisance because now you have to listen to this thing in your head. Boom, boom, boom. In this home we have problems with that, Early in the morning we have to listen to that boom box. Playing the same thing that we hear in the night, in the morning and in the day and whole day. Same thing. There is a man who has his phone. Well, oh Father. He walks through the whole house in the middle of the night with that phone on and playing the bhajan loud. And you sleep, you swear. You know when you hear funeral passing on the road? How the mic songs or a wedding or something? You swear by a wedding passing through the house. It says, being blessed, he started to create havoc. He started to make mischief. You buy the PS4 for the child for Christmas, huh? And then the whole day is only PS. Huh? You buy the phone for the child, and whole day and whole night the child on the phone. You say it's only phone. Who created that? I say all the time and I get in trouble all the time, Mother say, drink when you're home, I want to see you. Drink while you're home, I want to see you. And you're smiling and you say, come, cheers. And then when he started to drink and come home, you had to go under the chair. Huh? Smoke in front of me, I want to see when you're smoking. And then when they become chronic and addicts, you say, where have I gone wrong? Because you have supported those things. You have encouraged those things. You created the monster. You think I could smoke anything in front of my mother? I will get some smoking licks. Whether how big I am. You think I could even entertain the thought of drinking something in front of her? Well, I could just imagine. I might drink it and she might beat me like she get drunk. Because that is the respect that she commands. That is the era that we came from. But the children of today didn't come from that era. They came from the era where you said, do now, anything, you go ahead, fix up, go. You want to go, go. You don't want to come back, well, all right, what I could do? You go. Let them live. Let them alone. Huh? The old people used to say, lay alone. Huh? My grandmother used to say, what to say and what to do, nobody don't listen. Huh? Well, if she was living now, she'd have ring out she 2 hairs. Creating havoc. Lord Brahma, he now went to Vishnu Lok and he went to Shiva Lok. And reaching to the Lokas, Lord Brahma says, I have a problem and I need help. Who helped him to make the problem? Did anybody help him? But now, through the drishti, through the power of Mother Saraswati, he is guided into going to seek help. He's guided. Some of us, our ego never permits us to ask for help. Our ego never permits us because we want fame and we want glory and we want it for ourselves. We never want to share. And so, going to Vishnu Lok and going to Shiva Lok, it says Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, all together. What will happen? Listen, the Katha tells us finally. जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती देवी जगन्माता।
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 देवी जगन्माता मैया 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 देवी जगन्माता।
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती देवी जगन्माता।
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती देवी जगन्माता।
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मा विष्णु और शिवा वाहन शक्ति का सम्मिल करने वाले, जिसमें का पृथ्वी पर का लंबे लंबे सकते का रहते का प्रकट होते नाश करने नहीं होते। वामी देवी भगवती सरस्वती और माता लक्ष्मी की शक्ति पार्वती, देख और उनके का शक्ति भाव, देख और उनको का रक्षा होते। उन्होंने का लबते का देखते का जानते, जिसमें का नहीं पैर होते। और वामी शक्तियों का में जिसमें निर्दंड्या है निर्दंड्या है। जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती देवी जगन्माता।
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 ओ देवी जगन्माता मैया देवी जगन्माता।
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 लंबी लंबी for a long time, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, they sat and they were all devising a plan. They were devising a plan of how they will destroy this being who has now started to create havoc. They're plotting a plan. You sit down and you talk and you have no action, then what will happen? You sit down and you talk and nobody gets up and moves. What happens? In the night time, when everybody is sitting and talking, I go to the back and I bring a broom. And I go in the middle of everybody and I drop down the broom. And then you see everybody getting up one by one. Sitaram tomorrow, Sitaram tomorrow. It means go home. Now they understand that. It means go home. Tomorrow we'll talk again. Talk and no action. Huh? You ever hear they say the barking dog don't bite? You ever hear that? I don't know about that. Huh? Dog is dog and barking dog have teeth too. Huh? And so, lambi, for a long time in discussions, what will happen? The Devis now entered. And as the Devis entered, the three Devis entered, they decided to give an advice to their husbands. And what they said? Standing here and talking to each other will not resolve the problem. Why don't all three of you combine your powers together? And so all three of you combining your powers together, go down and discipline him. All of you together, you will have the might and the power. Brahma promised that he will protect him. But Lord Shiva never made that promise. Lord Vishnu never made that promise. And though you will be protecting him, you'll be disciplining him at the same time. We want to give our children all the things that we did not have when we were growing up. We want to give them everything and allow them to enjoy life because we were deprived from things. But in doing so, we have forgotten to give them good morals and values and teach them manners and ethics and how to say Sitaram and how to say. I walk in Palni's Park. I have been walking there for years now. And everybody I pass, I will say good evening to. I don't say sit around. I say good evening to everybody. Do you know if 3 or 4 people answer me, I got plenty replies? If there is anybody walking with me, they say to me, why you so hush, boy? Nobody taking you on. Why are you telling them good evening? Why are you wasting your time? I'm not wasting my time, you know. I'm reminding them that manners make it who you are. I'm reminding them. And whether they say good evening to me or they don't say good evening to me, I'm still having a good evening. Because I'm still slimming. I'm still exercising. And I didn't go there to make any friend. But not because they don't reply to me means that I am going to be like them. I don't want to be like anybody. And I'm saying that with no apology. I don't want to be like anybody. I never wanted to and I never will. I just want to be the best me that I can be. I don't want to be in any competition with anybody. And anytime there is a competition, I jump out of the race. I jump out of the competition and you didn't even know. But I am not competing. And anytime you are better than me, I'm glad for you. Because you know why? You know why? It helps me to recognize that I need to grow. It helps me to recognize that I need to polish myself. It helps me to recognize that I need to keep on climbing. Because we are never the best. There is always somebody better than us. There will always be somebody better than us. But that man never became perfect overnight. He became perfect because of trial and error. And it is okay to try and fail, but it is not okay to fail to. Always remember that. And so tonight, as they combine their powers and they stand in front of this demon, the being has now been converted into a demon because of his actions. And so as they stand in front of him, he begins to tremble. And so trembling like this, he refuses to fight. He drops on the floor. And dropping on the floor, he is not seeing Lord Brahma. He's not seeing Lord Vishnu. And he's not seeing Lord Shiva. He's seeing one huge, gigantic form in front of him. And this frightens him. Things unfold in our life to frighten us all the time, you know. You know that? You're driving down the road and somebody run into your van. You know why they run into your van? To wake you up, to remind you that you have to be very conscious. To be conscious. Weeks after, you're still trembling because of the little hit that you get, you know. Weeks after. A man run into your house and he said, give me your money. Huh? It reminds you, close up your door now. It's reminding you, you are your best friend and your worst enemy. If your door was closed, it would never happen to you. Isn't it? It's teaching you a lesson. The lesson of how to be conscious. The lesson of how to be awakened and about the surrounding and the beings around. And to know that not everybody is your friend. To remind you that not everybody is your friend. And so, as this being stands in front of, he bows and begging for forgiveness. The Devis in the heavens begin to rejoice, looking at what is happening. He says, forgive me, forgive me. I promise that I will change my ways. There are many times that life shakes us up and tugs us and pulls us and pushes us. The bank account have plenty zeros. Not one, plenty. Plenty zeros. You know what happened? Your ego become big. You become proud. Huh? And then the bank account go to zero. And you know what happened? You know what happened? Then you want to pray. Then you want to put up a jhandi. Then you want to know, I have a bad gra. You know what the gra is? The gra is your own mind. The gra is your own attitude. The gra is your ability to be respectful. Your gra is the ability to know that whether how much I have, it doesn't define who I am. Because a day will come when I'm going down the road. Huh? You know when you're going down the road, what you hear? What you hear? Aaye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela. दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला. आए पी अकेला, जाए पी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मीना. How much time you have seen that behind the hearse somebody house going with them? Ever see that? Huh? How much time you see RBC going down the road, or RBL, or FCB? You all know where is that? You all know where is FCB? How much time you see that going down the road behind the hearse? You ever see that? Huh? They tell, it's our tradition that we put up 2 white flags in front of the hearse. You know why? It is a time of total surrender. In the war, to show that you surrender and you're not going to fight again and you give up, they wave the white cloth. You all know? They wave the white flag. That came from Dharma, you know. Our Dharma taught that. Because our Dharma, Bhagwan says in the Gita, he says, fight, you know. Stand up and fight. Fight. Protect your Dharma and your Dharma will protect you. Fight. Fight for righteousness. And fight for truthfulness. And fight for morality. And fight for that which is right. Fight. And they put the 2 flags in front of the hearse. Not 1 surrender, you know, it's 2 surrender. 2 surrender. Because 2 surrendering has to happen. The surrendering of the body and the surrendering of the Atma, the soul. Your soul now has to surrender at the feet of Bhagwan Paramatma. That's why you put 2 flags. So now you know why. Now you know why is 1 man dead, but they put 2 flags. Huh? Because your body has to be surrendered, and your Atma, your soul has to be surrendered. And you know why they put white? Huh? To show that it is total surrender, no competition. The rich man, the poor man, white. Huh? Nothing going with you. Absolutely nothing going with you. Tomorrow when you get up, open your wardrobe and find your nice clothes and put it on, you know. Go in front of the mirror and model and look nice and take a selfie and thing, you know. Because when you're dead, your clothes dead too. Nobody want to wear no dead people clothes. You all know that? You all know that? Huh? That's your own father, you know. You don't want to wear the clothes. You're afraid you're dead too. That's your own mother. And you're afraid to go by the box because you're afraid. The late Pastor Mr. said one day in a Yagna, up on the asan, I was a little child. I remember this because you know why? It created an uproar. You see your mother dead and you don't want to carry the box. Because you're afraid your own mother who bring you in the world and mind you and feed you and clothe you. Huh? But you go Princess Town and you go San Fernando and you go in the airport. And you go and you buy a whole box of dead. KF something. Huh? And you put it under your arm. Hmm? And you're afraid that come alive under your arm. You're walking with it here, there and everywhere. And the same soul in your mother is the same soul in the chicken you're going to eat. Same soul. Same Atma. You're afraid that. You're afraid your mother who you know. You're sleeping with all the light on. You're afraid your mother, you know. Is your own conscience bothering you. Of what you could have do and should have do and didn't do. And is your own conscience frightening you? Know she got choked, man. Baba, the toilet flush. Something happened and the toilet flush. You went to the prayers good. And she come back. Let me smoke out the house now. What to buy? Hing? What to put? Red lavender? Huh? What to do? Tell me what to do. I have done countless funerals. In the funeral, I stand up tall and I say, you see when I do the funeral, you're dead and you're dead. Anything you're hearing in the house is your own imagination. Anything you're seeing anywhere is your own imagination. And anytime you didn't believe me is your own conscience bothering you. Mother toil and work and save and build and provide for you. And you have to offer pinda once a month. Once a month. It become a burden. Well, I had to travel and I had to go and I did not plan to go Mayaro for a week. Carry the pinda. Offer it by Mayaro. On the seashore, offer it. Your mother will come. God is here, there, and everywhere. It doesn't matter when you offer it. Offer it. It is your duty. The only way you could repay the debt is by performing the rituals. It is the only way you can show gratitude to your mother and your father, by performing the rituals to the best of your ability. But your mother living and you never talk to she, and 6 months you want to give her cow. Huh? For the 6 months the cow will put you down. Because you know why? You're being hypocrite. You fake. I want to do the 6 months. Baba, if you can't come, well, me and what we go do, we go have to get somebody else. Well, once I know you fake, you really have to get somebody else. I want the date, I want the date, I want the date. You swear them going to that too. And when you live in, you can't get a cup of water, you know. You're dead and you're dead for days, and your own family even know you're dead. Sometimes you're now dead and people hear you dead and they say, he know that? I thought he dead long time. Huh? It says, he bowed and he says, I will change my ways. Yagna is geared at helping us to change our ways. Geared at awakeness, helping us to wake up from the sleep that we're in. And to tell our ego, there is no space for you when it comes to worship and God. Ego, there is no place for you when it comes to me serving my God. The Devis begin to rejoice in the heavens. And as they begin to rejoice, what will happen? Panditji does the Havan. Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Devi Jagan Mata. Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Devi Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Devi Jagan Mata.
This evening I want you to clap and I want you to sing with me. Everybody, let's clap and let's sing together. I want to hear the dolak. I feel like I'm not hearing it. Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Devi Jagan Mata.
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 Devi Jagan Mata, Maya 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 Devi Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati 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 Devi Jagan Mata.
Agar bam, agar bam, agar bam, bam, bam.
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 Agar bam 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 bola bajawe damaru.
Agar bam, bam, bam bola bajawe damaru.
Agar bam 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 bola bajawe damaru.
Agar bam, bam, bam bola bajawe damaru.
Bajawe damaru, 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 bajawe damaru. Shiva bam 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 bola bajawe damaru.
Shiva bam, bam, bam bola bajawe damaru.
Shiva bam 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 bola bajawe damaru.
Shiva bam, bam, bam bola bajawe damaru.
Agar bam, agar bam, agar bam bam bam. चढ़ावे पान फूल कोई चढ़ावे माला
कोई चढ़ावे पान फूल कोई चढ़ावे माला
कोई मंगवा गए गोरियन को का शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
बजावे डमरू 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 बजावे डमरू शिव बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
शिव बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
अगर बम मगर बम मगर बम बम बम
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 काशी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ
काशी जी की विश्वनाथ नाथों की नाथ
काशी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ
काशी जी की विश्वनाथ नाथों की नाथ
काशी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
अगर बम मगर बम मगर बम बम बम
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 अगर बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
अगर बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
अगर बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
अगर बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
बजावे डमरू 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 बजावे डमरू शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 बोला बजावे डमरू
शिवा बम 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 भोला बजावे डमरू
The lady standing next to me is the hostess of the Yagna. In life, many people come into our lives. Some come for a reason, and some come for a season. And that's a fact, it is the truth. Some come to add value, and some come to bring an end to you. And that's the truth. It is a fact. If ever you have had the privilege of having any kind of interaction with her, you'd recognize that she's quiet. She's very quiet. But she's very stern. And she's very blunt. She tells you. She doesn't pretend. She doesn't pretend. She is like the principal of this home. She disciplines not only her children, she disciplines her husband. And she disciplines every one of us, including me, myself. She disciplines us. When the time comes, and even during the Bhagavad, when I stayed here for all of those days, she's the last face that I will see in the night before I go to sleep. And she's the very first face I will see when I get up. The last thing she'll tell me in the night is, anything to eat, anything to drink. The first thing she'll look at me in the morning and she'll say, what are we eating? Let me make something for you before. And she'll say to me, you don't eat, you don't eat. And she'll buff me up. She's the purpose that we're having the Yagna. She's the purpose that we had the Yagna last year, and the year before, and the year before. She's the purpose. Because this is how she chose to celebrate her birthday. Her sister's birthday was the day before, and her birthday is today. And there is one sister that was born some other month, and she said, well, my birthday is between two of them. Call my name too, eh? It's my birthday too. She has created an opportunity for all of us. She has given to us an example of how we should celebrate our existence and what we should do, how we should celebrate. What can I say to you? What can I say about you? I said, and I planned in my mind that this evening we'll have the reception because we had the wedding yesterday. But you know, last night, nobody wanted to leave, and we had the reception quietly. It was a quiet reception. Not that we couldn't afford, we could afford. But a quiet reception where everybody spoke. Everybody who was there spoke except me. And I said to them, I don't want to talk when nobody can hear me. I want to talk on the microphone when the whole world could hear me. To tell you that, Cindy, you are standing by the Devi. Because you know why? You are the Devi. That's what you are. Give her a clap. You are the Devi. I have never heard, in all of my time, I've never heard you or Dave say that you want something. But I've always heard from your lips, what can I give? And then one day, in a conversation came up. And Dave said to me, tell me about this Rudraksha. Tell me about this bead. And I said, boy, if I tell you about that bead. He said, what? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I said, bad. You could wear it, but you can't buy it for yourself. It has to be given as a gift. You know why? Because it is the first time I've heard, I want. And I did not share that with anybody. Because you know why? You want it, and I want it. You wanted Rudraksha, and I wanted to buy it. I wanted to give that gift. And I purposely planned to spend the entire day, but it was not ready and I had to go to collect it. Dave, you'll get yours. But today is not your day. Today is the boss lady's day. This evening, I don't know what your wishes are. I don't know what your desires are. But this evening, what I know is that you are the embodiment of strength. You are one of the most strongest persons that I've ever met. She has a daughter who has just recently migrated, who is on the quest to educate herself. And when that daughter left, we made our way here. I came for the first few days. I don't know if she could even remember that, because I know that it would be a difficult time for them. And I tried to come for those days to give some support and some strength. But then I saw that I am giving strength to somebody who is already strong, who doesn't need my strength and who doesn't need my support. Because when I'm expecting tears, I'm seeing smiles. And when I'm expecting to see a long face, I'm seeing a happy face. I don't know if you could pretend good. I don't know. But only a mother who has sent a child abroad to study will know that feeling. It is as though a piece of you have left. Lakshmi is sending her sons on a vacation and she's having a heart attack. Imagine you sent your daughter to study in the next country on her own. And imagine your next daughter is saying, I'm going too. And imagine your next daughter is saying, well, me too. And then, but don't worry, me staying right here to make sure that I have you busy so that you will not cry or be unhappy. It is my duty. It is my duty to lead by the example. It is my duty to introduce everybody. And though I would have brought everybody together, there are many people who choose not to talk to me after that, or think that their friend is better than, and choose not to talk to you and choose not to. That's fine. It's all a part of life. On your journey, not everybody has to fit in. On your journey, not everybody has to be with you. Some people come and they have to drop off because you know why? They just don't fit in. They just will not fit in. And whether how much you do or what you do, it will never be good enough. And so this evening, as a token of my love and my appreciation, as a token of gratitude to you, I want to give you this gift. And I give you this gift with all my love. And I want to say to you that may Bhagwan Shiva bless you in a very special way. May he continue to be your best friend. May he continue to listen to your every petition. And may you continue to be the amazing, wonderful, remarkable, brilliant person that you are. Give her a clap now. And I want to give you this gift. You're real lucky to get a gift from the Pandit. Eh? They give the Pandits. Your Pandit is giving to you. Om Tareva Laganam Surinam Tareva Tarabalam Chandra Balam Tareva Vidya Balam Deva Balam Tareva Lakshmi Pate Grugam Smarami Om Brahma Arpanam Mamastu Krishna Arpanam. Girls, come and do your mother's arti. The arti says, you know what the arti says? Sharon, don't worry. I bought a gift for you too. Don't worry. So there is no need to be jealous. The arti says, before I can see God in any murti, I must recognize God where? Come Dave, come stand next to your wife. Put him mala for mommy. Mata pita tum mere sharan kaho kiseki. Lift up your hands, bless them. Swami sharan kaho kiseki. Tum bin aur n dooja. प्रभु बिन और न दूजा आस करो जिसकी ओ जय जगदीश हरे ओ Jai Jagadish Hare. All four of you, hug each other. Tum hi ho mata, pita tumhi ho, tum hi ho bandhu, saka tumhi ho maa. Tum hi ho mata, pita tumhi ho, tum hi ho bandhu. Dave, you and Cindy have taught us that a family that prays together stays together. I tried my best to convince Dave into not having this yagya. I said to him, Dave, we're having a bhagwat. We're using your home 7 days, 3 times a day. It's the same Baba, it's the same group, it's the same people, it's the same food, it's the same work, it's the same everything. Dave, let us not have the yagya. And he said, what? I said, Dave, but then let's... He said, tell me how much days we will have. I said, but then let's do 3 nights. He said, what? 3 nights? I said, okay. But then let's do 5 nights. He said, nah. I said, well, the only amount of nights you could do again is 7. He said, nah. I want to do 9. I want to do 9 nights. And I said, why? He said, boy, I love my wife. He said, I want to pray and I want to thank God for blessing me with a wife like this. And I want to pray. Yesterday he was saying in the wedding. Last night he said to us, and he always says this and everybody thinks it's a joke. He's saying, I'm begging God every day, I want this same wife. I want her to be my wife. If ever I have to come back, I want her. I want to find her. I only want her. I don't want anybody else. She must be my wife. She and she alone. How much husbands will say that? You tell the groom who now getting married, put the sindoor 7 times. He say, I could put it for less. Huh? David's asking me, can I put it for more? Dave, you couldn't know. Every day you put the sindoor. Every day you put the sindoor for her. Cindy. Cindy says, I have no problem with that. But in the next lifetime, should I tell them, Cindy? Should I tell them? Tell them. She says in the next lifetime, Bhagwan, hear Dave's prayers. But in the next lifetime, I want to be the husband. I want to be the husband. Cindy, every time he say it, and that's your reply, then I'm sure Bhagwan will listen to your prayer. I'm sure. I'm sure. But remember to reply every time he says it, huh? Because anything you throw out into the universe has a unique way of bringing it back to you. And you have thrown out positivity. And you have taught us all how to pray and how to give thanks. This evening you must be very special. But there is an entire maxi that came from all the way Chatham this evening. Give the people from Chatham a little round of applause. They came from all the way Chatham this evening. There is a maxi that came from all the way Arima. They call, they say, Baba, we lost. I say, you're lost. Where you? They say, we seen some yellow flag. I say, keep on that road. Keep on that road. They say, but we turn around, you know. I say, so what are you seeing? They say, we seen wrecking service. I say, well, turn back and you follow the flag. Follow the flag. Bhagwan Krishna says, what great beings have done, other great beings will follow. He says in Bhagavad Gita, he says the example of a great man will be the example that many will emulate. So whatever you do it with greatness in mind. And know that once you put me first, perfection will come. This evening I want to say blessings to you. And so on behalf of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, the President and all its membership, we want to say thank you for being the remarkable people you are. And I want to personally say thank you. Thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for allowing me to invade your home to host my Bhagavad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let us all stand for the Aarti this evening. And tonight, we dedicate the Aarti in memory of the beloved mother and father of Cindy. And so we pray that wherever their souls are, may their souls receive bliss and happiness. For whenever we celebrate a birthday, we do not only celebrate our existence, but we celebrate our parents who have brought us into the world. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चांद तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो।
जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो।
और कोई न बनहारा हो, फिर तू पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे।
तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे।
पूरन करने सबकी आशा,
पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा।
जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहूं।
तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहूं।
बहु सागर में तेरी नैया,
भव सागर में तेरी नैया।
जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे।
दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायणं कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं हरे। श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिका वल्लभं, श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिका वल्लभं। जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे, जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायणं कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं हरे। श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिका वल्लभं, श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिका वल्लभं। जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे, जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। We all bow our heads in prayer as we chant the mantras of benediction.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धो च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पूजितं म्यादेवा परिपूर्णं तनस्तमे। ॐ शान्ति ॐ।
ओम शांति
ॐ शान्ति ॐ।
ओम
We lift our hands
शांति
for the protection of our dharma. उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की, अयोध्या राम लला की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, उड़ीसा जगन्नाथ की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की